Welcome to the show, everyone. I'm Sherry Horner, your host at Health Fitness Broadcast. Today we are talking about how our genes affect our weight or weight loss with Lisa Andries, and she is from
Mhm.
Vancouver, Canada, and she's also the CEO and founder of Ignite Play. Welcome to the show, Lisa.
Hey, thank you. I'm excited to be here.
I'm excited to get all of this great information about our genes. And
Mhm.
I'm not talking about our denim jeans, but our genes. With speaking with women for so many times and with groups, and you hear that, or I hear that so often. Well, that's how God made us. Everyone in my family has a big booty.
Yeah.
Everyone in my family has, this or has trouble losing weight or so we hear that a lot, but I have a lot of questions for you. I want to mention that Lisa is American board certified genetic counselor. She has 20 years
Mhm.
experience in healthcare and health technology. So
I'm
let's
aging myself.
let's talk about those genes. So, but first, how did the genes influence the weight? I mean, that's something that like I said, I hear a lot from women, but
Yeah,
then on the other hand, sometimes people don't even think of that. They think, okay,
yeah.
it's what I'm doing, at what I'm eating, how I'm exercising, or how I'm not. So, how do the genes influence our weight?
Well, it's really interesting. Genes and variations actually in your genes are what make you unique. So we all have different genes and different patterns in our genes and different sequences. And these variations in specific genes are what influence weight. So, for example, certain variations can affect your appetite, they can affect things like your metabolism, they can also impact things like your growth and development of your fat cells. But what I think is more interesting is how your genes and your lifestyle can actually work either for you or against you in terms of your weight and how easy it is for you to lose weight. And there's a number of variations that affect, for example, how your body responds to exercise and how your body responds to macronutrients like proteins, carbs, and fats. So it might not be that you have a variation that definitely makes you be overweight. It might just be that you need to follow a different type of diet or exercise plan.
Okay. What about? I have another question. Okay, so what are some examples of genes that influence our weight? I mean, what are the different types?
So there's lots of different examples, but I probably should stick to just a couple.
Okay,
Otherwise, we might be here for a while, and I love the topic, so I can keep chatting.
that's good. That's good.
But let me talk about one gene called the FTO gene, and that gene is really interesting in a number of different ways. It's been studied a lot. We don't know all the functions of this gene, but we do know that it affects appetite. And it also potentially can have different impacts based on different variations in this gene and differential response to exercise and to diet as well. So it's a gene that has a lot of different functions. And so if we look at one variation in this gene, for example, this variation affects your response to protein. So people with this variation actually do better on higher protein diets. And it's interesting because on higher protein diets, they tend to lose weight. On lower protein diets, they actually struggle to lose weight. And the other thing that's interesting is people always say, oh, fats are bad, but actually for this group, the fat level doesn't really seem to matter. It's the protein level. So they can be on a high fat diet or a low fat diet. It doesn't seem to make that much of a difference on weight. So that's an interesting variation. And the other side of it is exercise. And there's a different type of variation in the same gene, the FGO gene. And if you have this particular variation and you're sedentary, then you're probably going to be overweight. So some people think, oh, well, I've got the fat gene, I'm going to be overweight. Well, actually, for this group, it depends on their exercise level. So if they start to exercise, they start to find that they are losing weight, and they're particularly sensitive to exercise. and particularly do well on more vigorous exercise regimes. And particularly aerobic exercise for this group may be really helpful for the weight loss.
Okay, wow, this is really
Yeah.
interesting. So
Yeah.
you've been studying this for a long time.
Mhm.
So my next question is, how can we find out about diet or exercise program that might work best for us? So where's the key to finding out this information?
Well, I mean, the challenging way is to experiment on your own. So, and some people do that. They try different programs to see, does this work? Try this one for a while, and that's one approach. But the approach that I'm most excited about is actually testing your genes and looking for specific variations and using that information to actually guide what type of decisions you make. And I think that's just such a cool and exciting new field, and one that I've done a lot of work and a lot of research on, and that I'm really excited about.
I'm excited about this too. So can you tell us a little bit more about the test?
So we're putting together a test panel, and I think what's really cool about what we're putting together is not just the fact that we're testing these really interesting genes, but what we're putting together is actually tailored weight loss programs that are tailored not just to your results, but to you as well. So different people may have different goals and different background and different food sensitivity. So we can take this DNA testing and we can look at you as an individual and create a tailored program for you. And then we can also connect you into fitness experts and diet and nutrition experts who can really help you take that to the next level and take that plan and really make it actionable. And that's, I think, what gets really exciting.
Yes, definitely, because to find out so much more than just the
Mm,
basic information about yourself,
yeah,
it is
yeah,
exciting. Like, okay, tell me more and make
yeah,
things easier and get on the
yeah,
right track instead of having to try so many different things.
yeah,
So, who's a good candidate for this? Who would want to test? I mean, some people will say, yes, test me, I want to know more. And some people say,
yeah.
oh, I don't need that. Who would be the best
Yeah.
candidate?
Well, what's really cool about this testing and the fact that we're really doing such personalization is it is something that can work for different groups. So if you look at a bodybuilder who might be focusing down on losing weight at certain time periods, we will adjust to that particular regime and we can adjust what's recommended for that person. On the other hand, you might have somebody who has the same test results, but this person might be sedentary, might be going to McDonald's a lot. And so what we would recommend for that person would be very different, and we would customize it to the level that they're at. So it's really something that works for a wide range of people. And, some people are just interested in finding out what is going to work best for them, what their body is designed for. So there's definitely that curiosity factor for people as well. I know that I'm really excited to have myself tested, and you just sort of
Yes.
see.
Yes, me too. I want to do it so I can tell everyone else
Yeah.
more about it. And so, what's the process for the testing? How's that
So
work?
the actual process itself for doing this testing is really easy and it's really painless. And
We like painless.
what? Yeah, I know.
We like
People
painless.
get worried. People get sorry. I keep moving and making things blurry, probably. But people worry. Oh, I'm going to have a blood test and all of this stuff, which I don't like, and most people don't like. And you definitely do not need to have a blood test. What happens is you get a collection kit in the mail, and it has a cotton swab in a tube, and everything's sterile. And you take the cotton swab, gently swab the inside of your cheek, and you get some cells. You put it in the tube, and then you mail it off, and you'll have a self-addressed envelope. It's really simple and really easy. And that's something that can be done either in your home or if you're visiting a health provider that's offering the test, you can do it in the office as well. So it's really simple.
Okay, that's good. Simple.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about now I know it's open for anyone. How
Mm,
how do we get it? How can each individual get
mm.
access to this test?
So I think by the time we air this, we will have launched our IndieGoGo campaign that I'm really excited about. And so this will be an opportunity for people to actually get early access to the test and really be part of something bigger than themselves. So yeah, you'll get your test results and you get a customized program and you can get a consult. But you're also going to be contributing to research and development that's going to help other people, and really change the way the world loses weight. So I'm really excited about the IndieGoGo campaign. And you can link into that just on our website. We'll have a link to the campaign. And another cool thing is we have things targeted to two different groups. So we have consumers that might want to come in, and so they can pre-purchase the tests and consults. But we also have the opportunity for healthcare providers to purchase the test, get early access for their clients, and to actually bundle that with their services.
Oh, that's
So this
great.
is,
That's great.
yeah, so it's a great opportunity. And we're also, I'm going to put a plug in for any health providers on the nutrition or the fitness side. If you're interested in being part of our network and offer consultations, then you can contact me as well. So we're definitely growing that network as well, so that we can have great people who can help our clients.
Yes, absolutely. And more people will be able to learn about it
Yes,
through this
yes,
interview and through the other professionals. So that's what you
yes,
were talking about when you said they may go into their health provider to get the test done or
exactly,
have it mailed to
exactly.
them. Yeah. So we will
Yeah, 'cause-
definitely have your information in the description box. So if anyone would like to get
yeah,
in touch with her and see how that either program works, whether you're an individual or you are a health, fitness, or wellness professional and you want to get on board with this, that's great.
yeah,
So
that's great.
I want to ask you a couple questions. So
Yeah.
you are American, you live in Vancouver now, but you lived
Hmm.
in California, and you've kind of lived some
Yeah,
other places too. So you've
yeah.
been around the world and back and settled in Vancouver. Well, with this program, what inspired you to do that? Now you've been working, you have 20 years experience, but what made you say, okay, this I'm going to do this?
Yeah, well, it's interesting how I feel things have come full circle. So I started out in genetics and continued in biotech and in clinical trial space. But I really became more interested in going back to empowering people to take control of their health. And I got really interested in diet and exercise and really interested in the engagement side of things and making it fun. So I started my own company and we created a game that was all around the engagement and the fun side and how to make people want to exercise and get healthy. And it was interesting when we were creating the game and we went out to the community and said, okay, well, what are your barriers to losing weight and getting healthy? And I kept hearing over and over again, I need things that are personalized to me. I'm frustrated because I hear one week it's high protein, one week it's high fat, low fat, and I just don't know what's right for me. And, that really rang a bell with me. And it made me go back to genetics and look to see, well, do we have some of those answers through our genes? And, the answer was yes. And so I got very excited because I could bring in my first love, which was genetics, and my later love, which was, health and fitness and exercise, and really merge them in a way where we can really help people and really customize and make things easier for people. So now we've got the game that makes it fun, and we're bringing in the testing, which will make it easy as well. And one other bonus that I didn't mention with the testing is if you like to play games and you do the genetic test, you can actually have your personalized plan in our game, and you can earn points and rewards and level up for doing the things you should be doing.
Oh, that's great. That sounds like
Yeah.
fun because a lot of people need some kind of motivation and to make it fun
Yeah.
versus yeah, just cutting through the what you have to do. So,
Yeah.
well,
I
that
do.
was really great. I'm glad you did. developed this. So it's in the early stages. It should be launched by the time this video
Yeah,
airs.
yeah.
But now you tested it, so tell me about the people that you tested it on, you know, friends, family, your husband Tim, and did you do the test already on some close subjects that you have?
Well, there's a couple things. We're actually going to do the first round of testing through the IndieGoGo
Okay.
campaign. But before you actually test real people's DNA, or I should say test for the program, what happens in the lab is you actually run control samples. So you run DNA that has been collected on people who want to be part of research that have certain variations, and you look to see, okay, is this lab test valid? Is it working? Are we testing for the things that we say that we're testing for? So that's the first round that happens in the lab, and then through the IndieGoGo campaign, that's when we'll actually start running live samples through, and we want to have a big group of samples so that we can really have a really good first launch and run those samples through as well. And those are the DNA samples. So, and yeah, and so definitely we will be. I for sure will be testing myself, and I know there's other family members. I meet people when I'm skiing, and they're like, "Oh, sign me up!" So I think really interesting the type of people that end up
definitely. I want to try it because everyone knows I try everything that I talk about.
Yes.
There's only a few things that I won't talk about or try to talk about it, but I definitely want to try it so I can help.
And then we'll have further conversations about the process and how that worked and how much you loved it, of course.
Yes. We will definitely have updates on the topic. So I want to thank you for sharing all this information with us.
Thank you.
So it is now time to show Sherry your shoe. So what is your favorite shoe, Lisa?
Okay, I'm going to try to do that without disrupting the video. And this is probably going to look like a very strange shoe. It's not a beautiful heel.
I like it.
Do you want me to tell you about it?
Yeah, why is it your favorite?
So I am a climbing addict, and so this is actually a climbing shoe, and it's got some very sticky rubber on the bottom for those of you who haven't climbed yet, and that actually allows me to really stick on the rock if I'm outside, or stick on the holes in the gym. And it's not a comfortable shoe. It's very, very tight, so that you can really grip onto the rock. It's sort of like wearing a very uncomfortable high-heeled shoe, way actually, but not as pretty, of course.
So, how long have you been a climber?
So I've been probably climbing for off and on for about 10 years. So I climbed a little bit and then took a couple of years off, and really I would say the last 4 years have just really, really gotten into climbing, and I just love it. And I particularly love climbing in the outdoors. It's almost like a very zen and meditation thing for me. It helps me deal with stress, in addition to, of course, getting a good workout. And for me, that's one of what I need to motivate me to exercise is it has to be fun. So,
and the outdoors, being in the outdoors really helps too.
Yeah.
So exactly. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I said exactly, yeah.
I have, my favorite shoe today is, again, the Asics. And this is my latest favorite running shoe. I've showed it before in another video, and I have to show it again. This is my fave right now. So my favorite Asics. Love Asics. Again, thank you so much. And we will have Lisa's information in the description box. So I want to encourage you to get in touch with her, especially if you're a health, fitness, or wellness professional, or if you're an individual that would like to know more about the process of this testing. So.
Yeah, or even people, if you want to just find out more about this whole field, I'd love to talk about it, and I'd love to give people more information. So please contact me.
That sounds good. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye. Okay. Bye-bye.